Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing our updated 2022 money routine. So I kind of already shared our annual money routine, monthly money routine, weekly, so on and so forth in this series that I did a couple of months ago, but I just wanted to share kind of like a synopsis of everything that we do to prepare our finances, particularly for the month. So if that is of interest to you, then please keep watching. So the very first thing that I do is I actually pre-plan our month or our budget in every dollar, and I normally go ahead and do that. So I actually have our budget pre-planned for like 3 months, but normally around the end of the month, maybe like a week before the new month starts, I typically get, the electricity bill and all of the bills. I know what the bills are going to be and our paydays are going to be and our income is going to be for the upcoming month. So I go ahead and I kind of pre-plan everything and I just kind of ride it out until the month actually gets here. And then if there are any changes that I have to make at the beginning of the month, because let's say, Netflix increased their subscription or something like that, then I'll go ahead and I'll make that change. But for the most part, I kind of like to have, a general idea of what our month is going to look like. The next thing that I like to do is hold a budget meeting with my husband. Now, this doesn't have to be like a full-blown budget meeting where we're going over every single detail of our budget. It can just be like, hey, we're projected to bring in this amount of money for the month. These are our expenses. Is there anything that you need to purchase in, which is a question that I really have to ask him because he doesn't want a lot, but every now and again he might want, something random. Like I think the only frivolous purchase he's made in the past year is probably a guitar, which it was like $200 or something. So anyway, I like to go ahead and ask that question, talk about anything that I have going on, share anything that I've noticed, like if we've gotten an email about our car insurance coming up, or just any other kind of financial things that we need to talk about, we'll go ahead and we'll discuss those. I do have to say, we have multiple meetings throughout the month. There's honestly not a week that goes by where we're not talking about money in some type of capacity, because normally in talking about our goals, we have to talk about money, which is kind of unfortunate, but one of our major goals is to retire early. And so talking about money just comes naturally when talking about retirement and investing and all of that. But yeah, kind of unfortunate that lots of our conversations and all of our conversations have to revolve around money, and that there's so many different adverse feelings around money and so much conflict around money, and that money is one of the leading causes of divorce. It's unfortunate because I feel like, we live in a world where, I'm going off on a tangent, but we live in a world where we may not be taught about money. Our parents may not have known about money to teach us about money. We have to figure these things out. Sometimes it's too late. Sometimes we have negative relationships with money. Sometimes we don't even make enough money to cover our expenses, our living expenses. And so that might, bring about certain feelings and certain negative conflicts, if you will. So it's kind of unfortunate that such a construct as money breeds such adverse feelings and negativity, but that's really the world that we live in. But all of that to say, to avoid any of that I just mentioned, we just go ahead and talk openly and honestly about money like we do everything else. The next thing that we do, which the next two things are kind of like a part of our budget meetings, sort of, pretty much, and so that is to set goals. So we go ahead and we figure out what our goals are going to be. I say it's a part of our budget meeting, like our initial one, but truth be told, sometimes the new goals, because we switch up our goals a lot, so sometimes new goals arise as the month goes on, or between the time that we actually had the budget meeting and the time that the month starts, type of thing. So we go ahead and we try to map out what our goals are and adjust them accordingly. And this is, of course, our financial goals. A lot of our life goals do revolve around money, some of them anyway. So we do have to have, conversations about that and goals, personal goals, but mainly we're talking about financial goals when we're discussing, when we're talking about our money routine. Next up is kind of the same thing, which is to create task lists. So like a financial task list for the month. It's not necessarily like setting a goal, because a goal might be to save $200, but a task may be to call Comcast, we don't even have Comcast, but call AT&T, which we do have for TV, to inquire about any promotions or, just anything that we can do to any task that we may want to do or get involved in or carry out that is going to just further our financial agenda. So goals and tasks or intentions are different in our opinion. So the next thing that I do is I finalize our budget in my planner. So currently I am planning digitally and I'm enjoying it. I have not missed a paper planner as of yet, only because everything that I need to do in life, like stuff at work, which is why I bought the iPad, has to do, like I can do it on the iPad, and it's easier to do it on the iPad. It's easier to do, fill out an observation or many observations in one day and just upload them to our portal. Just, like I can fill it out on my iPad and then upload it from my iPad. So that's just an example, but everything is easier right now with the iPad. So I haven't missed lugging around a bunch of paper. I've been enjoying doing everything digitally and being able to sign and have parents sign and whatnot on the iPad. But I actually have our budget set up in my iPad planner, which I have. And so I'll go ahead and I'll finalize it. You guys see me do that every month here on YouTube. So I kind of just bring over the every dollar budget and then add our task list, our goals, and all of our pre-plans and kind of make them an actual plan inside of the planner. Another thing that we're sure to do every month is automate everything. All of our investment strategies, they're all automated. All of our paydays, automated. Anything that I can automate, sinking funds, transfers, automated, deposits, withdrawals, automated. Anything that I can automate, I automate. The only thing I can't really automate is sometimes when I am transferring money from our sinking funds, I don't really know what that's going to be, or transferring money into our sinking funds account. As it stands, I don't really know what that exact number is going to be, but credit card payments and anything that I can automate, I do it because that's going to take the headache out of managing money. Managing money is honestly fun for me because I don't view it as a headache. There's not like a lot of moving parts. I feel like all I have to do, talk to my husband about what we want to do with our money, because we have joined finances, and just kind of stay on track of the finances and carry out our goals and tasks as best as we can. And there is simplicity in that. I feel like that's a video idea, so maybe we'll talk about that in the future. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on now to the next step. So one thing that I will do, but also may not do, it just kind of depends on the month, is I'll actually use our Budget app, and I'll create our paycheck budgets within the Budget app. We each get paid twice per month from our jobs, and so it's kind of easy to do paycheck to paycheck budgets. And so sometimes I'll just split our monthly budget in half and create 2 paycheck budgets. And I will have to say, I sometimes only do that when we're going to have a big month, like lots of income, maybe lots of expenses. I just kind of take it a step further. Like for March, I didn't do it because March is so chill, and we already knew March was going to be chill. We have 2 birthday gifts to purchase, and we have to file our taxes. Not to say that filing taxes is chill, but we don't have that much stuff to do. Like, we're not traveling and going on a bunch of dates and stuff. We haven't planned for that to happen. So March is pretty chill, so I didn't do it for March. But some months I do like to go ahead and do the paycheck to paycheck budget, just to make sure that everything is kosher and copacetic and that we're staying on top of things. But like I said, that's typically when it's a big month. So either a lot of income or a lot of expenses, or both. The next thing that I do, which I do daily, is I track our transactions in every dollar. So I input any money that we have received. I track any expenses that we have, any, savings that we've done, any type of way where money is being deposited or withdrawn from our accounts, one of our accounts. I go ahead and I track that just to stay on top of things. As some of you may know, we don't have like a gas budget for our cars or food budget. Well, we do, but we have one big large budget, which we call shopping. Obviously, that can get out of hand. So while I do track everything, it's important to track that shopping budget and to make sure that we're staying on track. So ideally, we'd spend, like $350 to $375 or so each week. And that would ideally be the amount of money that we spend each week on all the things that make up the shopping budget. Ideally, we would spend about $750 every 2 weeks. So I just like to kind of stay on top of that and track all of our expenses. That can be annoying. Some people do try to steer away from that. A lot of people will use the cash envelope method perhaps so that they don't have to track all of their expenses in that way. But really it takes like a minute, and you know, it's not that big of a deal. So it's just something simple that I like to do to keep track of the money that we've brought in and the money that has gone out. Another thing that I do, which happens to be like a daily occurrence, is I monitor all of those automated transactions. So I make sure we've been paid. I make sure we've been paid the amount that we were supposed to be paid. I double check, rather I should say, that certain bills have come out. I double check that transfers have taken place. I just double check it. So again, I just kind of check our bank account. Essentially, that's what it comes down to, is I check our accounts to make sure money is coming in, money is going out, money is flowing the way that it's supposed to be. Just doing a quick check, make sure everything's good, and that's it. I just do that throughout the month and on a daily basis typically. And then the last thing that I do, which typically happens at the end of the month, so I've put all of these in what is pretty much chronological order, is to pay off our credit card. Now, if I'm feeling frisky, I'll pay it off each week, but sometimes the balance doesn't accrue. Like if our balance is like a couple thousand, then it's definitely time to pay it off. But like, let's say at the end of 1 week, the balance is like 400. I won't bother with paying off that. And we do have it set up to where it is going to be an automatic payment, but sometimes I'll just go ahead and make the payment myself. So either I allow it to take place monthly and I allow Capital One to, you know, make the automatic withdrawal from our bank account and pay off our credit card, or I'll just make payments as I see fit, which is typically like a weekly basis. Okay, you guys, so that is our updated money routine for 2022. That's kind of what is going down in the Budgets household as it relates to managing our money. I'm impressed that this video is under 15 minutes, but probably shouldn't be too impressed because, you know, I feel like it very well should be under 15 minutes. So that is it for our money routine. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you want to share any element of your money routine, make sure to leave a comment down in the comment section. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.